speak about reading the audience. It sometimes helps. I've seen in improv where you come into the room and you sort of meet people a little bit. So they're less afraid of you, and you are less afraid of them, right?
Yes.
Isn't that right? And that, see, when you have someone's name, you're in there, right? So, anyhow, for the next 10 minutes, you're all going to be part of my family. Welcome to the family. My name's Mark Maloney. And I grew up, let's see if this works. That's line of sight. Okay, whatever. My story is called Regifted. Who knows what regifted means? Yes?
It's when someone gives you a gift and you turn around and give it to somebody else.
Yes. It was a Seinfeld episode, Regifted. So I hope you enjoy Regifted. I grew up watching The Brady Bunch. What was the premise of that one? Remember? This was the story of a man named Brady who had 3 kids from his family, and he married a woman who had 3 daughters from her family. That's the way they became the Brady Bunch. Terrible 70s clothing, but not a great script, but that's what we watched growing up. I never expected to actually live it. So if you could imagine me living this. So no more technical. Now, I was married the first time. I wanted to have a child. It did not happen. My wife had ovarian problems, and that ended. I find myself, after being single for about 10 years, getting ready to marry again, but I'm in my mid-40s. So starting a whole new family is a little daunting. A second marriage always comes, like the Brady Bunch, it comes with baggage. Would you like to see my baggage? The baggage that came on. Okay. Here's the baggage. Her name is Maya. She is absolutely lovely. She's a Disney princess. Well, Malibu Barbie, and loves the outdoors and the water. Her father's African American, and mother's Caucasian. When I came in, the marriage was still a little bit sore. Okay, it was a little tender, and I was sort of replacing a father. It was a little bit tight, so it wasn't all warm and fuzzy from the get-go, but I wanted to win her over because this was my one chance to be a father, right? So I wanted to make it right. I didn't want to buy her love, but I wanted to be thoughtful with her. So one time I bought her a book called The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen. Great author. Hans Christian Andersen, would you tell either you two?
He's Danish, not Danish.
Yeah.
Well, he's Danish, and he wrote.
End of story.
But he wrote all of the fairy tales that we now, the Hansel and Gretel and all of those. And one of them was called The Little Match Girl, which I liked because it has great art, and it's a little girl, and she's sort of struggling with her losing a parent. So I buy the gift for her, and I hand it to Maya. Maya reads it, puts it away. She says, well, yeah, you can have it back. Well, what's wrong with it? She says, it scares me. Wow, there. I look at the book, and now they give you the real details and the real stories. They don't sugarcoat it anymore. And when I read it to the end, she freezes to death. The little girl freezes to death and dies. So, guess I should have read the whole book. No wonder it scared her.
Wow.
It's tough, but it was my one chance. One time my wife asked her, do you like Mr. Mark? Maya, do you like Mr. Mark? And she said, well, you said when you were going to get married again, it was going to be a prince, a horse. What is my prince? He doesn't have a horse. One of her favorite things, as I said, was the Disney on Ice. We took her to Disney on Ice every time it came through Richmond Coliseum. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but it's about a 100,000 little girls and their parents. And it is fun, I enjoy it, but that's just her favorite. She collects all the Disney Princess Christmas ornaments. Behind our house is a woods, and I know we don't get a lot of snow here in Virginia, but that year, we happened to have an early snow in December. I'm sorry to say it didn't last till Christmas, so it's not a white Christmas story. But my backyard actually looks like that. It backs up the wall of the pond. It's a wildlife area. My wife had to work, but I was off for the snow and the schools were closed. We go out hiking, and of course, there's a couple of snowballs thrown at me. We have some of that fun. A little sledding, and we come across a little puddle of ice. Now, the puddle is about the size in here. It's irregular, and when I talk a puddle, I'm talking it was an inch thick at the worst. It had been really cold, so I said, she said, I want to ice skate on it, in her galoshes. I want to ice skate on it. So I step on it, and it holds my weight, so I figured it will hold hers. She gets out, and she starts sliding around on it. She says, Mr. Mark, sing. I said, every time I sing, you tell me to shut up. I'm the world's worst singer. Why do you do that? She says, no, make the music from the Nutcracker. So I'm out in the woods. Da, 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 and she is just sliding around. Look, I did a triple axel in her galoshes. She thought she was doing all the spin moves, but it was more in her mind. And da 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 da, and she's going and she's in her whirl. Finally finish up, da, 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 and she's just striking the poses, going crazy, loving every minute. And I kept asking, can I stop singing now? I'm tired. I need to go in. Seemed like an hour was probably 20 minutes. Played the tough dad and took her in to get dried up and warmed up before Mom came home. Had a discipline issue a short time after that, and I heard those three words it is, that every step-parent hates to hear. What's the worst words when you're a step-parent? What's that? Close. You're not my father. Oof, that is a shot to the gut. You know it's coming, but it still hurts. Lucky for me, all was still not lost because I knew Christmas was coming. And on Christmas, I know I can always count on Santa. Santa gives me, okay, maybe that's not the Santa she was looking for. That's the Santa I like. Santa brings the best gifts, right? You can always call on Santa when you're in trouble. When Santa gives you a gift, you don't have to worry about, do I have to give him a gift back? Do I need to send a thank you note? Is his gift more expensive than my gift? And all of those messy things we throw on ourselves as adults. With kids, it was great, and for me, it was safe because I didn't have to put my name on the gift. I could say, this is from Santa, and watch her enjoy it. And for the gifts from me and my wife, Joanne, we put to Maya from both of us, me and her. So I didn't have the direct rebuff on that. She did give individual gifts to us. As she handed me the individual gift, it looked familiar. You'd never guess what it was. Anyone like to guess? On and on, so here we go. I give her a gift, it gets rejected, and on Christmas, it's re-gifted to me. Failure, failure, rotten dad. There under the Christmas tree with the lights, it's beautiful, hoping to have this wonderful family moment, and I get re-gifted. Double rejection. Holding it in my hands, Maya says, open it. Open it up. And she's smiling in her eyes. So I opened the book up. Inside is an inscription in black crayon. Dear Mr. Mark, thank you for helping me make my dream come true. I will never forget the day that I was a Disney princess. Merry Christmas. Love always, Maya. Turned into my favorite Christmas gift. And that is the way we became the biracial Brady Bunch. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm glad you laughed. I wanted to talk about it real quickly before we go on. Was that different from most of the PowerPoints you usually see?
Oh, Lord, yes.
I don't think there was one word.
But it,
No bullets.
There were no bullets.
and you kept my interest because, you know, you brought in Santa, and I was like, okay, so I I was interested, whereas if it was just bullets, I'm sitting there, oh my gosh, he's reading, I want to shoot him. But it kept my interest, and it was, yeah.
I'm the same way.
So that PowerPoint might be his.
It might be. I'll put a 1,000-word paragraph up there and read it to you.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that a lot more.
Well, thanks. What did you think? Did the images detract from it or add to it?
Enhanced it.
Enhance it. Tell me a little bit more about that.
It just gave the visual, because you could think in your mind, but it actually gave you something to also focus on and reaffirm what you might imagine.
But I think the way I approach them, there's two schools of thought in storytelling. One is to give as little information as possible, but add details and let people imagine it in their mind, and that's better. Sometimes you're grabbing people on a Saturday morning and they haven't had their coffee. It's better to just show them a picture of the kid, and sometimes I think that makes it more concrete to me.
Right.
To see a picture of the child, to see a picture of Santa, does that trigger anything emotional in anyone? You remember what? What do you remember when you see Santa? Your childhood, gifts you had, or being, one of my favorite experiences was, of course, being a parent on Christmas Day and being able to give gifts that were not from me, but from Santa. Okay. Any other comments about the way the images were used in the PowerPoint?
I think so, because we're from different backgrounds, like in Germany, you may not have had the little matchbook or the Brady Bunch, but by seeing it, you kind of have an idea what it is, of things you may not have known. Like if you had just said Match Girl, I wouldn't have remembered the book, but by seeing the cover, then it sparks.
It triggers a little bit of memory on there. I like that too, and I think sometimes it can help with the setting and the mood and Christmas. So I just wanted to we talked so much about a better way to do PowerPoint without using so many bullet points and so many words. I wanted to show you me doing a different PowerPoint that was something other than that. So I hope you liked it. I do realize in the business world, you can't always, well, you should tell stories. You should always tell a story. Sometimes you are stuck, and I did this as a teacher doing an information dump, and I understand that.